I've gotten away from capitalism in my mindset a lot because I truly think that it's like the world's greatest evil at this point. And it's just like playing the game is just like the opposite of what real life is. I get to make all my own choices. I guess that's been the through line of the career, not other people telling me what to do. I never was good at having a boss. And yeah, one day I just decided, well, I'm not going to work for anybody ever again, and I'm just going to work for me. I was just like, I'm going to buy a camera, and I just fucking bought a Canon T2 and started filming musicians here in Nashville, Music City, USA. I was just involved in all that and started making free videos. I fell into it really, like it all kind of just happened around, you know, me buying this camera and then going out and starting doing free stuff. I just made it work. And then getting a viral video is like, yeah, it's hard work, but it's also like extreme luck. My buddy Benjamin Todd, he came in one day and he was just like, I got a song, he played it. I didn't think anything of it. I just did it against a white wall. It was a song called Using Again. Now that song has like 12 million views on YouTube. Blew up my YouTube channel and I got lucky. My biggest driving factor with like the consistent element, like honesty and like just putting out something that's gonna make people hopefully have a moment of reflection and a moment of peace in their endless scroll. I just lucked out. Like, how do you get into the apex of like a music movement, you know, like, and that's what it really was. Like the bands that I worked with at that time exploded. Dude, so good to see you, Jake Shields. Mr.
Tony.
Jake Shields.
Yeah.
I just got done letting you beat my ass up and down this cage and all over the place, dude.
We're at the jiu-jitsu gym. You got a little fat lip.
I do. I feel it. That was all courtesy of Son, not you. Yeah. We went a little hard. Yeah, that's what you got to do to stay young. How old are you?
29.
I'm letting you guys just beat me up, man. I'm an old man.
How old are you?
No, I'm only 34.
34.
I thought you were younger than you. You got that young glow about you.
Yeah, man. I just shaved my beard a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Son's like, he's the one that's 23 or whatever, and then Eric, too. Yeah, anyway, letting young guys beat up on you is a great way to
stay young.
Stay young, yeah. Hopefully I'll be 40, 50, 60 doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been training martial arts?
Well, when I was a little kid, I did taekwondo. I can show you if you know the whatever the fuck. I don't remember any of it anymore, but when I was a little kid, it was like the coolest thing in the world to me. And then my parents are poor, so they like took me out eventually because it cost too much. Instead of getting babysat by Sensei Steve or whatever, then I got babysat by Aunt Rita and my grandma, and we got to watch, you know, The Price is Right every day after school instead. That wasn't in school. But what are you gonna do? You know, can't choose. And then I started doing this when I was 30. I picked it up. But I used to rock climb like you. You rock climb, right?
I have.
I did a decade of rock climbing.
That's pretty cool.
And then before that, it was lifting. So I always try to stay in the gym, but definitely 30. Everybody tells me I should do fights, but I'm like, I don't have health insurance, and I'm like 34. I'm like, I got into it too late to be like excited to go fight. I'm not saying I couldn't do it or like that it would just be like too hard. It's just like I see what it would take. It is too hard. I see what it would take to really be into it. You know what I mean? Like to take. You see what these guys go through. Yeah. Some of these people that show up to the fights not prepared and how they get their ass beat. And I'm just like, if I did it, I'm competitive. I'd want to go all in. I'd want to give everything, and I know I'm not going to. I'm like, it's not in me right now. Like, it's not where I'm at in life, 34. Like, I don't feel like fighting some, like, 19-year-old and just fucking, like, you know, quitting my job and going, like, all in on this fucking fight for no money, just so that I can, feel good about myself. Like, I feel good already. Like, for the most part, I feel good. I don't want to fight, but I've been doing this for, like, since, 2020, because all the climbing gyms shut down.
Yeah. That's when I got into it, too.
Yeah,
I did kickboxing for, like, first 2 years, and then
Swift Kick. That's where we met.
Yeah, and I was in Arizona at the time, and then met Swift Kick years later.
Yeah.
But I'm John. Same kind of. I like I like jujitsu because like afterwards I feel better. Like same with rock climbing. It's kind of like that too. Like lifting, not so much like that for me. Lifting
is boring.
It's boring, and like it doesn't necessarily make me like feel better throughout the day. It kind of just jacks me up. Whereas I'll get sore from jujitsu, but like I just feel like my body moves better. I have better posture. Like
I need the structure of the class and the camaraderie of all the people. When I was doing lifting, I could get into it, but it was just a lot of like me by myself and listening to headphones. And I got enough of that in my regular life. So when I come here, it's like the time I get to put away my phone and I get to, explore other guys' bodies.
There you go.
Is that all off the record? No, it's great. And, it really is something to that, like getting to touch other people in a no diddy way. Because I'm old, but I got the lingo down. Don't worry for the kids, the Gen Z in the audience. But no, it's like great getting you think about it after a while. If you're not doing jiu-jitsu, like when's the last time you hugged somebody, like in your life? And that might sound strange to people like, oh, what do you mean I hug people? Like really think about it. When did you last hug somebody, especially that wasn't your family? So there's really is power to like getting to, put your hands on somebody, even if it's violent. Like it's still fun and like it gives it's a transfer of energy in a Confucius way, dude. If I was to get spiritual on you, it's like you get to transfer your energy, they get to transfer theirs, and like that pumps you up. That's like you're saying. You walk taller, you walk around with the the energy that they gave you, like Goku getting the spirit bomb energy, bro. It's because they gave a little bit of them to you on the mat. I love that. That's the part I really like. And just put my phone away.
Yeah. There's something too about just being like uncomfortable in a setting where it's okay to be uncomfortable, like
definitely.
Like there's like every single time I do jiu-jitsu, there's some anxiety on the drive over, like oh man, I'm gonna be caught in a bad position, or oh man, like I'm gonna be sweaty and hot and
facing your fears.
So it's just but then also like going where someone else is also driving with some of the same thoughts and like it's I don't know, there's something to it.
The fear, dude. Yeah. I love just sitting there. We just did that. I did that with you. I'm just sitting there surviving, just sitting on the mat. Oh, I'm fucking gonna get choked here. I better just survive. I love being in survival mode. That's that fight or flight instinct kicking in, and then sometimes you just sit there and breathe. That's great. Yeah,
I'm a trainer too. My training brand was Fight and Flight Conditioning. That was the.
You know all about it. There you go. You're a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Nice. Michael does that. Our coach, our sensei, our black belt.
I've only done it for a couple of clients since I've been in Nashville, but that was what I did like my full time for a few years before I moved here.
You're a man of many traits. You got all kinds of jobs, dude. You're going to the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
You're doing it all, dude. Master of none and master of chilling. Dude. Yeah. You're doing it good,
Yeah. So I honestly, I wanted to talk to you about your stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I like to use this podcast to like learn, and as we've known each other, I've gotten to see what you're doing. It's pretty cool, and I like your.
Thank you.
I think your general demeanor. You're very like laid back, and I suspect it's a product of like kind of living a life where you made a lot of like the choices. Where you're like, you have a level of control of your life that not a lot do because you've kind of chosen a creative route and made it work to the extent you have, and so it's like. I don't know. Maybe you're just a chill guy, anyways. But
it's a good way to think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm searching in these conversations. I found the more podcasts, I'm always like curious, like. Yeah. So, anyways, you got the YouTube channel. Yeah. What do you do?
I do YouTube. Yeah, mostly YouTube, and I just work in video. Is probably the best way to put it. Work in video because I make money from all kinds of things, really. But yeah, that is because I get to make all my own choices. I guess that's been the through line of the career, is trying to make my life in a way where I make the choices and not other people telling me what to do. I was never a good employee, just because, at least when I was younger, things have changed. But when I was younger, I always thought that I could do better, for better or worse. So like, I never was good at having a boss. And one day I just decided, I'm not going to work for anybody ever again, and I'm just going to work for me. And I've been running this YouTube channel doing folk music, recording musicians, and we kind of built a brand around intimate live music, and people writing powerful songs, and I record them in a way that I like, and it seems a lot of other people like that, and it's done pretty well. Millions of views. We got a Patreon that I make my money on, and YouTube AdSense, and selling fucking T-shirts and whatever else. And it's been good, and that's what I do. And then I make money recording like for artists too sometimes, like here and there. I mean, I've done everything, recording videos for gym guys. I've done weddings. I've recorded a bat mitzvah. I've done a bus commercial. I've done everything, dude. Yeah, anything you can think of, I've done it. So it's been good.
But what was it about videoing that drew you in initially? Was it like, were you the kind of kid that always just had a camera and was like recording home videos? Was it that? Was it were you more like strategic? Were you like, I want to be a creative person with like a skill that's useful that I can get behind?
It's hard to put myself in my shoes back then. Again, the longer it gets removed from it, but I've always said that it was because I was inspired by some stuff that I saw when I was like 19. I was watching some stuff and getting into like folk music, and I really liked these Alan Lomax recordings. And Alan Lomax is a guy that he was a folk music archivist, recording artist, and like went around with a camera, recording around America, like black artists playing the blues and like all kinds of stuff that people, like real down home country people, and just stuff that like regular America music industry wasn't into at the time. And he kind of is the reason that the folk music in the 60s got repopularized, because he was showing people this. He actually showed it to the English, and then they brought it over again, and then anyway, it's a big cultural exchange. But I got into that, and I was just like, I'm gonna buy a camera, and I just fucking bought a Canon T2 and started filming musicians here in Nashville, because we're in Nashville and it's like Music City, USA, and there's all kinds of musicians that are touring through here, and all my friends are musicians, and you're like Belmont, and the scene in Nashville in 2010, 11 and 12 was crazy. We had like the coolest like music scene in the country. It was written about in like Rolling Stone and everything. Like it was a time to be alive for sure. It was like rock bands and like Paramore, Kings of Leon, like all these bands came up around that time, but there were a lot more underground bands, and the scene was just really vibrant. So it was just really easy to go around and like meet people and get work, and it was a crazy electric, period here in town. It was a lot smaller town then, like a lot of places. And, every kid that I knew out of high school had a house, for example. Think about that now, right? But like all of us, like, 12th grade, you'd just go out and rent a place, and then you'd throw shows. Like that's just what you did. So I was just involved in all that, and started making free videos. And then I started like, I don't know, I got like bit by the hustle. I fell into it really. Like it all kind of just happened around, me buying this camera and then going out and starting doing free stuff, like filming my friends and shit. And word would get out there, and next thing you know, like I'm offering free videos on Craigslist, literally meeting people, and then people would be like, "Oh, let me give you $50 to do this video." I'd be like, "Oh, people are gonna pay me to do videos? Like, yeah, let's do it." You know what I mean? Like, I was just out there doing it, one after another, like being, way too cheap, and just like.
Did you have a job while all this was happening?
Man, at some point I quit my job because I was working. I always had like weird gigs. Like I quit my last real job. Actually, I got fired. I was at Maggiano's. I was a busboy, and I was bussing tables, and I got fired because I'd bike there every day, and I didn't care very much, and I smelled bad and had like messy hair, and like it was like a professional place, and I was just like partying all the time. I didn't really give a fuck, and I quit. I got fired, and I was like, well, I'm never working for another place again. You know what I mean? Like, and I just made it work. I mean, I've always lived in like the house I lived with at the time that I quit was with like 12 other people. So like I lived in punk houses and stuff where it was just like, rent was $200. And so you didn't have to make much to get by. So we would just do shit. Like I would busk all the time. I don't know if you're familiar, but just like playing on the street, playing music and like, asking for tips and shit. And I did a lot of that. I'd work the Renaissance Fair 2 years in a row and make money, it'd just be like shit like that, you just try and make ends meet. And, I never had like health insurance, or I still don't to this day. And I didn't have anything like I needed. So I was just like, make enough to buy a camera And then I'd quit whatever, you know, like side gig I was hustling and just go make videos. And yeah, we just made it work.
That's cool, man. I've always kind of wanted to do that, but then I've never really got momentum enough to keep it going.
Shit's expensive now, you know. It's a lot harder. I can't imagine trying to do what I was doing then, like now. I mean, maybe stuff's always hard, and there's always new ways to make money. Yeah, but I never discount that I got lucky.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is like people say hard work is key, but it's really not. It's like you got to get lucky.
Yeah,
and I got lucky.
They're working for free though. That's hard work too.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky that I was so keen to do that too. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And that I didn't have my circumstances. Like I didn't have family members that relied on me. You know, I didn't rely on them, but they didn't rely on me either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now it's, you know, now it's a little different. Like my dad died this year and like I've been having to help my mom out. And like, if all that had happened when I was like 19, I wouldn't have been a bum on the street, like just playing for tips. Like I would have been, you know, helping my parents. And like, so I'm just really lucky that I never had to, you know, it's just the timing of everything worked out too. And then getting a viral video is like, yeah, it's hard work, but it's also like extreme luck. Like I just lucked out. Like how do you get into the apex of like a music movement, you know, like, and that's what it really was. Like the bands that I worked with at that time exploded now. Like there's some of the biggest country or like music acts that are out right now, like hip wise, like they're the coolest. Sierra Farrell, like everybody loves Sierra, everybody loves Culture Wall, everybody loves Benjamin Todd, like all these bands. I say everybody, but probably half, and you know, half the world, fucking like 99% of the world's never heard of him. But like in this world, it was huge and it made a lot of money and it did really well. And yeah, it fucking blew up my YouTube channel and I got lucky. So
did it blow up your YouTube channel like years after you were posting this stuff? Like as these artists grew, is that? It
was funny. A viral moment kind of happens at the snap of a finger. It feels like, even though there is like a buildup, but I was doing it for years. I kind of had a blueprint for what I wanted the channel to be. And I've strayed away from that. Every now and again, I'll be like, all right, here's a rap video I fucking directed. Like, I'm going to put this on there because I was like, whatever, you know, whatever was working, I just keep working. And I was making these videos and it was that was like my hobby channel. I would put these videos with the artists that I really liked on there in this style of the acoustic, intimate, cinema verite, fly on the wall, like view slice of life style that I liked a lot. And then I would also be doing like these, you know, commercial work as well. I'd be out there shooting, you know, whatever the fuck, rap videos for $250 and I'd be doing that all the time. But then like one day I was doing it with my buddy Benjamin Todd, who was like this tramp guy who plays a lot of, you know, these hardcore songs about drugs and shit. And then he came in one day to the studio and like laid the studio. It was like a white wall psych room where this hip hop photographer was letting us work out of. And he came in one day and he was just like, I got a song. He played it. I didn't think anything of it. I just did it against a white wall. It was a song called Using Again. Now that song has like 12 million views on YouTube, which is really cool. It's just him playing with a guitar and some beer, and he's just sitting there, you know, and it's just like a powerful moment. But I didn't know that at the time. I uploaded it, and all of a sudden it went viral, like, you know, huge. And I was like, oh, fuck. At that point, I had kind of resigned myself to being like, the channel's just for fun. Like, I'm making money. You know, I didn't even have it monetized. Because at the time, monetizing your YouTube channel was a little complicated, and especially with like, you know, other people's music, obviously. And then Ben was like, you should monetize this. And I was like, okay. And I did. And in like the first month, it made like a fuck ton of money. And I was like, for me anyway, it was probably like $3,000. And I immediately went and spent all of it on a guitar. I was like, all right, let's go. And like spent it all on the nicest guitar I'd ever seen. And then eventually Ben, I don't think Ben realized how much money it was being made. And then when he found out by it, he was like, I'm going to need half of that money. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. And I started giving him half. And anyway, I just capitalized on that and started making more videos in the same style, like same shit, a lot with Ben, then with other people, put them out in my style, and people just like caught on. And I always was cognizant of like, I got to make it a brand. Like it has to be its own thing, you know, it's got to be, and I was cognizant about putting myself in it because a faceless thing is a way harder to like sell. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have personality. So I was trying to be like, yo, this is me on my adventures doing my shit. And, you know, you can follow along for years and see, like, what I do. And, like, I just went to South Korea and filmed a bunch of artists. You know, it's not like it's the most popular thing I've ever done. Like, you know, most people don't give a fuck about, you know, South Korean music. But it was a blast. And if you've been there since the beginning and you see this, you're probably like, damn, this guy's still at it. Like, cool or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a lot of fun, man. I really love doing it. Yeah.
What's your relationship to the idea that there's like hundreds of thousands of people that are kind of following you, like generally aware of your movement through life? Like, does that?
I'm at the right level.
Yeah.
I'm like not Justin Bieber,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like notable in a very small niche, which is really nice because I can go anywhere and not be noticed. But sometimes I get noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the airport one time, and somebody flagged me down, and like I just thought, and that was like across the world. That was like in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Ireland one time, and somebody on the street in Dublin was like, Anthony, you know,
cool.
Shit like that's cool. And then, you know, knowing you have friends in like any city, and you can find somebody, you know, to hang with, it's cool. And getting opportunities through that, the notoriety is fun. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be like super famous. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber style, like dealing with everybody knowing you is like, I can't even imagine. It would warp your reality. Like, you can't even walk outside without people being like, that's him, and pulling out their phone and wanting to take pictures with you. So, but it is really cool to know that a lot of people I'm so blessed to have the amount of people that have seen my work. Just getting your name out there, getting your shit out there is like, it's almost like a financial blessing of like, it's a security. You know what I mean? Because like I can get work whenever I want. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go hungry because people know that I'm the guy who made that one video. So if in my niche I can be like, hey, please give me some work, somebody's gonna give me some work somewhere, which is nice. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Is there a weight with that? Like, not necessarily in a bad way, but like a responsibility with, like, when you press that upload button, there's like, it's like, has your quality standard kind of gotten higher and higher, and like
there's
the stress associated with it?
There's a lot of power creep. Yeah, you got to look out because, yeah, it's like suddenly you got to one up, especially when I'm working with the same artists. It feels bad to upload something that isn't as good as the last thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I definitely feel that pressure to like follow up, but I've gotten better about it over the years. You really got to let go of that too. Like, at least unless you're like Mr. Beast and you're a fucking psycho, like, and that you want that to be your life, like chasing that high constantly and like chasing success. But I've gotten really, I've gotten away from capitalism in my mindset a lot because I truly think that it's like the world's greatest evil at this point, and it's just like playing the game is just like the opposite of what real life is, because we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And like, look at this, like right outside here right now is the most beautiful sunset I've seen all month, all year maybe, and that is so much more important than like how many people view my next YouTube video. And if I worry about that, I will go crazy. Like, it's so much stress, you know what I mean? And like, I could do it, but it would be like, for what? Like my dad just died this year, and like, you know, it's just shit like that hits you, and you're like, why am I worrying about like silly things? I should be worried about like the people around. But that is something to say from a really blessed standpoint. Like, if I was broke, struggling again, I'd have to like step back up, I guess, you know, and like do shit. But I'm happy where I'm at, and I don't worry about it as much anymore when I upload things. Like, I went to Korea, and like, you know what's funny is I went to Korea, I uploaded that video, and I stressed out for like 3 years, because it was 3 years ago that I went. I did this whole trip, and I was like feeling the weight of like all these people that put all this work in for that video to be made, and like put me up in Korea and everything. And I was like taking so long to get it out because I was thinking the whole time like, nobody's gonna watch this, and like I gotta do it really well. And yeah, when I finally put it out, like people fucking loved it. And you know, like I said, it didn't get buku views, but it opened a lot of doors. And the people that watch the videos are like a good quality of people. Like, I almost like it that there's not like a million people, because there's a lot of good things that come with a million views, but there's also like, most of it is just like, anybody can, like, I can go viral all day on Instagram if I wanted to, for example, because like, I know how to like game the thing. Like, you know, you do something with a hook and you put it, but I know that that's like 99% of those people are absolutely useless to my life.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be like a million haters in the comments just talking shit. And like, it's more about the quality now than the quantity for me.
Yeah.
It sounds really cheesy to say though, but it's true. No. That's how I feel about it.
This podcast is called Quality Values.
Let's go!
Have you read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance?
Yeah, I have tried to read that. I've gotten like halfway through.
You should try again. I tried. I didn't actually like get through until probably my third or fourth try.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people try it, and if you're intrigued by it, try it.
I was intrigued because I'm really into Taoism as like religion or philosophy. Like that's what draws me in the most is like duality and like balance. And Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance I really love how it's funny because I didn't get most of maybe I didn't make it far enough, and I got like halfway, but I didn't get the Zen part of it, but I got what I really love was the breakdown of machines.
Yeah.
And how that was like the first time it really opened my mind to like how machines, you can break it down into sections. I guess he was talking about life too. Mm-hmm. You break things down into the most simple components and work your way up.
Yeah.
Like you're breaking down an engine. If you think about it as an engine, it's way too complicated. But if you think about it as like, okay, this is how the engine gets oil, and this is how the engine, pushes that oil. And if you think about it in components, it starts to be a little more understandable. I think that's a good way to look at life too, isn't it? So yeah, I love that you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm all about duality, and I'm all about fucking chilling.
Yeah. So the general premise of the book is like the core focus is quality, right? And so that guy's story is interesting. He was a philosophy teacher, a rhetoric teacher, like something like that. And he was like just thinking deeper and deeper throughout his career, and it got to the point where he had like some break where he like either maybe understood reality more than anyone else or maybe broke from reality, but either way, they
enlightenment.
Yeah, this was like in the electroshock therapy phase, so they just jolted his brain, and he lost his personality, became a different person, and became a technical writer.
This is the author?
Yeah, this is Robert Pirsig. And so then like after 20 years of his new personality, like the old philosophy stuff started coming back. And so like he kind of wrote all that like quacky shit that he'd been thinking in the perspective of like a technical writer.
He's
breaking
like
it down.
Both sides of his brain coming back together.
It's kind of cool. But
that is cool.
The general idea is that like the core focus like of every decision boils down to like the quality factor. And so when you're saying, like you were mentioning earlier, you're kind of like in a position where you're able to step away from capitalism as your core approach, where like money is
you have to make money with everything. Everything has to be the most. Everything has to grow exponentially forever. That's the worst.
Exactly. And so you've worked yourself into a position where that doesn't govern you. So my question for you is like, if there is like a core variable that
honesty. Making something like, well, first of all, just like, chilling. Something, it has to bring me peace. And there is something to like challenging yourself does open up new like pathways in your mind and like make you a better person. I do enjoy that part. I like doing a challenging project, but there's a lot of negativity that comes with putting too much stress on yourself. And also you'll notice that like a lot of people are not happy no matter how rich they are, and they still can't find peace. I mean, look at Elon Musk. Like the guy the guy's on Twitter all day. Like you're the richest guy in the world and you still find time to be on Twitter? Like imagine that. You're so rich and you're on Twitter? I don't even want to be on Twitter on like my best days. Like Twitter is the worst place in the world. Like, and he bought it. Just like, if money doesn't buy happiness, then you got to find something that does. So yeah, that's the first thing. And then also like I was mentioning with the quality of the viewers, I just like collaborating with great artists and great people. More important, like I want to work with really great people. I want to enjoy the time that I'm spending with them. You know what I mean? So like, I've turned down really, really big artists like Zach Bryan. I was not talking to Zach Bryan, but I was talking to his manager. His manager was like, come fly out to fucking Seattle or something. And it was just like too far away. And I was like, I don't really feel like it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I probably should have done that. I would have made a lot of money, but I was just like, man, whatever. Like, I wanted to work with my friends. And I work with friends. I work with people that I like. and I put out things that I'm proud of, you know, and I don't put out things that I'm not proud of. So that's probably my biggest driving factor with like the consistent element, yeah, like honesty and like just putting out something that's going to make people stop from their, like, hopefully have a moment of reflection and a moment of peace in their endless scroll. Like when you come across my content, it's very different than what it's probably why it didn't show up in enough algorithms, in my opinion, but it's because it's very different from what's on the feed for the most part. You know, most of the shit that you see is like scripted, or it's like, you know, especially with music, it can be very like, I don't know, like fast and just TikTok-y. My stuff is really slow and like just very like drawn out, you know. So I try and I try not to bend to the algorithm when I'm making that stuff. I want it to be something where people can slow down and like enjoy something they've never seen before. Yeah. Like the Korean stuff. I keep going back to that, or the Irish stuff that I did recently, past couple years.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is listed in the philosophy section. It's not like, it's not going for viral moments. I'm just hoping that.
I love it.
Hoping I learned something.
What kind of philosophy are you into?
That book is my favorite book.
Really?
The Zen and the Art book. But I've gone through different philosophy phases. To me, like the common thread, like what quality is to me is presence, and like and not like a like sustainable presence. Like fear brings you into the present, but not in a sustainable way. Like, and fear brings you into the present in a way where it's like going to pull you out of the present in the future, right? Like you'll, like, you know, you've got a snake attacking you. You're locked into that moment, but then every single time you see a snake, you're in the future, you're going to be pulled out of that moment and into that previous moment, like that trauma. So I think like enjoying a really good song, like the
present moment.
Seeing like a magic trick
the
that's
here
like
and
perfectly
now.
Executed, you know. It's just like you just get you're right here right now, and like if ever in the future you're pulled back to that moment, it'll have like a positive impact on your state of being.
The here and now is I think that is a very powerful thing. That's why what drew me to music in the first place, definitely, is like it you know, you're there in that moment. Well, I always go back to my favorite thing about music, and my favorite experiences of music were all about like that Nashville scene that I was describing earlier, where it was just the coolest live music and crowd surfing and moshing, and like when you were there, and you were amongst people that were also really into it, and that was awesome. And the artist would play the song, and you'd listen to it and hear the lyrics, and you'd love it. And you can just be like right there at that moment, and you're not thinking about the past or the future. Yeah. And I love that. And it's the same reason I love jiu-jitsu and MMA, is because when you're like getting punched in the head and you're there and you're fighting, like you're really in the moment. I guess that's what they call that in sports, right? Like there's that in the moment feeling. Yeah, the flow. That's what I was looking for. And yeah, that touches on everything that I enjoy. Yeah, definitely the flow.
Yeah, I'm not super into music. I write lyrics, so I'm like I'm into the words, but I don't really have a sense of music. But I was mentioned in that blues bar downtown in Printers Alley. It's called Blues and Boogie Bar. Blues and Boogie Bar. But it's pretty cool. On Mondays, it's kind of like an open mic thing. I've gone a couple times, and it's the same kind of people, but they're like, you're on the drums, you're on the guitar, and then like it's all these guys, and like some of them know each other, but they haven't played together necessarily, and so like
I love
you can
that
see
improv.
them. Yeah, they're feeling it out. You see them talking, and you're watching it, and then like once they get going, it's just like, I mean
that's just like this. That's just like rolling. That's just like doing jiu-jitsu. It's a here and now thing. Like you're there, you're locked in. You have to be immediately reacting to other humans, and you're touching them with not your hands, but with your mind, and that's a really fun thing to do. That's why people love playing music. I mean, because it locks you in. You know, it locks you into the here and now, and you get to hit them with those sonic waves. That's why I like playing. That's what got me into it. Well, come on, what got me into it was meeting chicks, but really, it's that playing, you know, music and with yourself in the bedroom, and it just locks you in, like really feeling the moment, man. Well, a lot more fun than scrolling on your phone, which is unfortunately what most of us are doing now. You like scrolling?
I don't like it, but I do it.
Yeah, dude, same. I'm trying to get a dumb phone.
That'd be good.
But it's poison. They locked us out of the dumb phones. It's really hard to get a dumb phone right now. Do you know that?
Yeah. In high school, I had a flip phone.
Yeah.
I loved that thing. It was the best. But I'd have to go print out directions.
Exactly.
I wanted to drive somewhere.
We want the directions still. So they make phones like that. Well, you know what's funny? They make phones like that in India, in China, in Korea, in Japan. They make these new smartphones. You can look them up. They make flip phones that have all kinds of features and all kinds of stuff. But you really can't use them in America very well because the major carriers block us from having those phones be approved here for reasons I'll let you just surmise, probably because they can't sell for as much as...
follow the money.
But then people make these new dumb phones, like the light phone. Have you seen this? And there's these other there's some new dumb phones that have come to market, but they're not even dumb, and they're still $800. Mm-hmm. They're these super consumer items, and it's just no, just give me a really cheap phone. That there's no market incentive for that necessarily. You know what I mean? So again, capitalism takes us all prisoner in this game. I just want to unlock the cell and get out, but it's really tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to chill.
I know. I'm looking forward to the Peace Corps.
We're
not gonna have service. I understand it a lot of the time. It's gonna be remote.
It's gonna be like taking acid. You're about to unlock your mind.
Yeah, we get a certain amount of minutes.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? When I was 18, 1 month into being 18, I got a felony for selling mushrooms, a huge bag of mushrooms. So that I forget that is a huge part of my origin story with all the video stuff too, and for why I work for myself.
To be free, yeah.
I had to, because I was not free. I was unable, and then you can't get the Pell Grant if you're a felon, etc. So I couldn't go to school. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
It was tough, and that really kind of set me on a path in and of itself, which is nice because when you have unlimited options, things can be daunting. What do I do if I can do anything? Mm-hmm. I probably would have ended up going to college or something, But then I luckily got a felony and I was couldn't go to college. I had to go make money and pay off all my probation fees and all that, and I just did my own thing, And it's hard to get a job when you have a felony because you can't, I guess you could lie, but and it doesn't matter as much anymore, it feels like. But back then it felt like, I don't know, your options were much more limited if you had a felony. So, and you have to go check in on probation. So if you miss one of your probations because of work, then you next thing you know, you're in jail. Yeah. So I just worked for myself. So that helped that as well. Yeah. Helped me stay out of jail working for myself. Although it was really hard to explain that to the probation officers. Well, where do you work? Because you have to have a job or you're going back to jail. So I was like, I work for me. And they're like, that's, what are you, a drug dealer? That doesn't work. No, I got to do videos. So that's a big part of the origin story I forgot to mention.
That's kind of cool.
Is it cool?
No, honestly.
Stay out of drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Yeah. Do acid. I love that. That's on the record. Even with my felony, do mushrooms. It's great. So what made me think of that is the Peace Corps is going to be doing mushrooms because you're going to be your whole mind is going to be rewired because you're going to be off the grid. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not entirely. We're working in a school that'll have Wi-Fi, so it's
you'll be able to check every now and again.
Be able to check, but won't be able to won't be a consistent part of the flow. It'll be a step away from presence,
Maybe you take it as far as you can and just not have the phone.
Yeah, that's kind of thinking.
And then you don't have to walk around. Where are you going?
Eastern Caribbean, St. Lucia first, and then there's 4 islands. Training's in St. Lucia, and then we get placed on one of 4 islands, which includes St. Lucia afterwards.
What about Haiti?
Not Haiti. It's St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Vincent.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, if you go to Haiti, don't even bring a phone. You make yourself a target. It'd be rough, dude.
Actually, I did a podcast last week or the week before with one of my buddies who's Haitian. He moved out of Haiti when he was like 9 or 10, but he's talking about going back to Haiti next year. I was like, yeah, man, I'm pretty down there. Maybe I'll come check it out.
It's rough, man. So from what I hear,
yeah,
I got a buddy of mine that did some business there. He's in. It's so random. He's in cash register technology, and so he's like sells cash registers to big grocery chains and stuff.
Interesting.
And he sold one to like the grocery markets of Haiti, and he said it was some of the most intense like situations he's ever been in. Like to go anywhere, he's like with an armed escort, and like like just seeing people like just situations where he has to like suddenly the guy's like, we can't stop here, we have to go, and he's like speeding down the street, like just avoiding like cars full of dudes with guns, that are just just cars full of like 5 dudes with AKs like just driving around, and if they see like people in a car they want to stop, they just stop you and maybe rob you or maybe not. I mean, it depends on which group it is, but I'm speaking out of my ass for any of that, though. I've never been to Haiti. I don't know anything about Haiti.
I've seen some headlines over the last few years, but
Caribbean's gonna be wild. That's all we gotta do. Some of those countries are probably pretty like touristy, tropical. So hopefully,
some of those are where the service will be more like remote. But yeah, there's nice.
Who runs the Peace Corps?
It's the government.
Okay, they're still giving money to the Peace Corps.
JFK.
I would have figured Trump would have like axed that peace.
I thought so too. Right when my girlfriend Megan and I applied, it was like Doge was. It was like, I mean, that seems like a lifetime ago at that point, but it really wasn't that long ago. They're making cuts. And
oh my God.
We were kind of we were both.
Your girlfriend going too?
Yeah, we're going together.
Holy smokes. This is gonna be the best time of your life, dude.
I'm pretty excited.
Or you're gonna break up and it's gonna be terrible. Life moves on.
Yeah, it'll accelerate. It accelerates life.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, new experiences accelerate.
That's
change,
so true. Yeah, and it puts you in the here and now. That's why I love traveling.
Yeah, man.
Because it puts you in the here and now. When you're in another place and suddenly all the sights and scenes and smells are unfamiliar, the familiar puts you in a hypnotized like state where you're just walking around and you don't see anything.
Yeah.
That's why I backed into a pole today. Like you just like, I've been here a million days. I'm just fucking on an autopilot, and autopilot had an error. But if you're in another country, you're like, all your neurons are firing. Yeah. And I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like exhausting. It's kind of same thing as driving a jiu-jitsu class. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna be forced to like make some
scared
quick decisions that are gonna matter, and it's gonna be like, but when you're in the moment, it's never stressful,
Yeah, when you're there, it changes.
Yeah.
Before I leave, I'm always super for a recording trip, or anything for work. I'm always like super stressed out. Like I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. I gotta fly. The ICE agents at the airport are gonna like look through my phone or something. I'm gonna end up in a gulag, or the plane's gonna crash. I'm always thinking about how much work it's gonna take, how tired my feet are gonna be, and then once you're there, it's like I never want to leave. I'm in Korea for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I want this to be my life forever. Like I don't want to go. I'm like sad I'm going home. Yeah, and it's like that for every trip, every time. I love it.
Yeah. My sister's actually in Korea right now, South Korea.
What city? Seoul?
I think so.
The city?
Yeah.
There's only one city.
Yeah, she's there with her boyfriend for a week and a half.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, man. Presents.
Yeah. I'm glad we touched on that organically. You didn't say that's what the podcast was about. You didn't say that's what you're about. I didn't say that's what I was about. We just met in the middle on that.
Yeah.
Very organically.
Quality, presence.
Yeah,
freedom.
You could feel it. You knew. It was all here.
Yeah.
I feel all those sensibilities. Yeah, those are the most important thing to me. Those are the most important things to my life. Freedom, chill, and, exploring on your own terms. Living on your own terms. That's it.
Yeah. I like the exploring distinction.
But
yeah.
Sweet, man. Is there a sign off? I know you got to go to work.
This is it, man. But yeah, this is cool, dude. I like the way you move. Like,
thanks. In jiu-jitsu, because you fucked me up today.
No, just like you're always sweeping up at the you've got you've got an eye for the quality, like and like you make quality contributions to the community. And
thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Community is everything. Yeah.
So.
Community is not number one, man. I love the idea of putting a place like that's why we're putting this gym together. Like, I'm trying to help them do it because there's nothing better than getting in on the ground floor of something that you can see getting bigger and bigger. Like, they were two people that met here at the armored combat stuff.
Yeah,
we're having a wedding ceremony recital or something here earlier, and they're just hanging out. How cool, they met here. How cool is that? Like, that's why you need stuff like this.
We're doing this podcast here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this is Wild Side.
Wild Side MMA, Nashville and Clarksville, 2 locations. Incredible gym. Mr. Mike, thank you for letting us, we didn't ask, but thanks for letting us come in and do the podcast here.
Shout out to Scott Jones with the Husky Fat 2. I did an episode with him. Go check that one out too.
We're repping the brand.
Here. He's a fight promoter. But yeah.
Sweet, brother. Good luck in the Peace Corps, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for making this happen.
Absolutely. Cut!